Hello everyone! This is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. This is Running on Empty Food Review. I'm your host, the Report of the Week, and thank you for checking in, tuning in, and for being here. Alright, so I wasn't sure what I was going to review today, although the other day I was, because I peruse through these websites that, kind of have news and information about all the different fast food releases. And Burger King had, I'd say like a week or two ago, released their cheesy tots. So I was thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll try that. I was looking at the Burger King website. I was thinking, all right, I'll see if that's on the menu, if I can get that, etc. All of a sudden, something else caught my eye that I hadn't even seen, publicized yet. I thought, wait a minute, Sourdough King. I don't think they've always had that on the menu. I checked, and sure enough, today, from this day forth, up until April 19th, the Sourdough King is a new addition to their King family of burgers, so to speak, and it's going to be there again for about, a month or so. And I thought, you know what? Let's do that. Let's try out the Sourdough King Burger. So I got it. You can see a kingly sandwich. It actually has the crown. This is a literal king. You're looking at royalty right here. So bear that in mind. All right, the Sourdough King. What exactly is this sandwich? So, it's an expensive burger. I paid $8 for this. And other people have said actually that they've been paying between $7 and $8 for this sandwich as well. So it is a pricey one, but maybe it'll be worth the price, who's to say. Here's what it comes with. A flame-grilled beef patty. You can get 1 or 2 patties. I was actually feeling a little adventurous today, so I got 2 patties. I figure if this is a king, well, we're just going to go all out. We're going to go all out. It also comes with bacon, American cheese, mayo, ketchup, and then, this is the big appeal, because you might say, well, why are they calling it the Sourdough King? Right? If they just put like a regular bun on it, maybe they're just pulling your leg and they just called it the Sourdough King for no reason. But no, it comes with, instead of a regular bun, it comes with a toasted sourdough. It's like a slice of sourdough bread that's toasted, so it'll be interesting to see. So obviously the bread is the big emphasis here, but we're just going to see how it is as a sandwich, if it tastes good, if it's a hit or a miss or what it is, and we'll go from there. But that's the Sourdough King. Pretty basic, straightforward, part of, again, the King lineup. Look at that crown right there. You think the points on the crown right there, there's 5, you think that represents anything, or? I don't know. I'm just wondering. I have no clue. SD stands for South Dakota. And let's open this up and see what we have. So there it is. That's a Sourdough King. It's a pretty big burger, I must say. Now you can see, though, this is not your standard bun. It's like a little loaf of the sourdough bread. All right, so you can see, let's focus it in right there. You can see that cheese. You can see the bacon, the patties, and a little bit of ketchup here and there, too. But obviously it's the bread, the patties. That's the big focus here. So you know what's on it. I know what's on it. We all know what's on it. I was thinking about cutting this sandwich in half. I actually might do that. I don't know, just something about this. It's like screaming, cut me in half. So I think I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to pause the camera for a second. I'm going to go get a knife. I'll cut it in half, and then we'll try it that way. I don't know, just something. I'm experiencing the calling to cut this sandwich in half, so I'll be back in a minute. All right, I have returned. It's cut in 2 right there, you can see. And now, with that said, there's a good cross-section of it. I think you can see a better view of it now. So you know what's on it, I know what's on it, we all know what's on it. So with that said, let's try it. The Sourdough King from Burger King going in. I don't know how many of you watching this applies to, but if you have a shortwave radio, I know it's 2021, I know it's not the most popular, medium in the world anymore. I do my show on shortwave radio from time to time, but I'm going to be changing the time that my broadcast goes out. So if you listen in on 5850 kilohertz, starting on March 14th, that's next Sunday, the show is going to be airing at 10 p.m. Eastern instead of 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to move an hour later. Just a heads up to anyone who listens in to my broadcast. It's going to be at 10 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. after the 14th. Well, I find myself in a little bit of a difficult spot right now, and I'll explain why. The sandwich itself, as I consumed it, as I'm thinking about, well, how does it taste? Is it good? Is it bad? Am I satisfied with it? Etc. I enjoyed this burger. I thought it was pretty good. Quality of the beef is decent. Again, I got the 2 patties. You can just get one. But I thought that they were just juicy. They were flavorful. Burger King has really improved their patties lately. The quality has gone up, and I've actually found myself patronizing Burger King a bit more from time to time. The bacon is crisp. You can see there is a decent amount of it. Definitely more than one little, slice of the bacon. To get a little bit of that in every bite. Nice and cheesy. That's the thing. If you like your cheese, I think this is a good burger for you. You can see it didn't just have one piece of cheese. It had the cheese between every patty there. Definitely you get that cheese in every single bite. It's a cheesy burger. Nice cheeseburger. Pretty good. The mayo, this is one thing that I'm happy about. There was a time when Burger King would really just go overboard with the mayo, and it would be so crazy. It would be just to the point where it's just way too much. And I'm not a big mayo fan, but I found that it was a good amount. In that I thought it was enough that I think those who like mayo would be satisfied with it, but even those who aren't a big fan of it, such as me, it's innocuous. Adds a little bit of moisture. It is not a dry sandwich. It doesn't dry your mouth out. That's fine. The ketchup is nice. It kind of ties everything together. I'm happy with the burger. You might be saying, well, Review Bra, you're talking about everything except for the most quintessential component of this sandwich, right, upon which it is named, the sourdough bread. So what do you have to say about that? Well, there's the problem. The bread itself is so light in terms of its flavor. If you told me to close my eyes, eat this sandwich, and say, what type of bread is it on? I wouldn't say sourdough bread. There is no discernible or identifiable characteristic in the bread from what I could taste that made me even have the slightest inkling that this is a sourdough bread, base to it. Even as I eat the bread right now, directly, this tastes much more like just a slice of white bread as opposed to any sort of sourdough bread. Now, this doesn't bother me. It's a good sandwich. I think it tastes good. Shoot, I would get it again, quite frankly. I think it's nice. It's pleasant to eat. It's flavorful. It's enjoyable. But it's a Sourdough King. And the bread doesn't taste like sourdough bread at all. Now, there's different types of sourdough bread. There's some that you bite in, and it's definitely much more identifiable than others. But this bread is so light to the point, even eating it purely by itself, it tastes like white bread. It doesn't really taste like sourdough bread at all. Now you factor that in with all the flavors of the sandwich, you cannot tell that this is on sourdough bread. Now that leaves me with a quandary, though. Alright, it's not really what they say that it is. I mean, yes, granted, it has the base and everything that, they say it does. It looks like how it's supposed to, but when it comes down to taste, you can't taste that sourdough bread, and that, I feel, is the whole marketing aspect of the sandwich. Resultantly, here's just what I have to say. It's a good sandwich. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I would get it again. I thought it was tasty, and it doesn't bother me one bit, but it's not as advertised. So, because I rate these items based on how it is supposed to be and whether it deviates from its intended concept, I think people will get this expecting that sourdough flavor, and they might be disappointed. Despite it being a good sandwich, it's not what they expected. Therefore, I am going to be rating this sandwich a 6.5 out of 10. It tastes good for what it is. I enjoy it. I'd get it again, but it is not true to its name. That's the core concept of the sandwich, and because, again, it deviated therefrom, that's why I'm just going to be rating it as it is. But don't think that this is a disgusting, tasteless, horrid sandwich that, you're going to be curled up, in a ball in the Burger King parking lot crying because you couldn't taste the sourdough bread. It's still a good sandwich. I enjoy it, but I think I've said this enough. You know the drill here. So bear that in mind. It's just not the bread, the key component, not as flavorful as I would hope. $8 though, an expensive sandwich, but that might also be a factor. All right, with that said, that's all that I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Report of the Week, and today's review is for the Sourdough King from Burger King. Yeah, I just hoped it would have been truer to its name, but a good sandwich in the end, but just bear that in mind. That's all that I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Take care. Until next time.